Agrobion is a full air fertilizer that the world says is a miracle. Some have called him the king of bio-natural full air fertilizers. This fertilizer greatly increases the productivity of agricultural plants. Agrobion makes plants more resistant to disease, freezing and drought. It's cheap compared to other fertilizers. Very good results are obtained with wheat, corn, sunflower, potato, vine, tomatoes, cucumber, lavender and other agricultural crops. Agrobion has a unique formula in the world. It is listed in the fertilizer catalog. Learn about this product from this formula. Procure, test it. You won't regret. About Agrobion full air fertilizer. Translation with the Romanian translator in English. Agrobion organic full air natural fertilizer is presented as a liquid full air fertilizer with a balanced content of macro and micro elements. Absorbed and quickly assimilated by leaves and fruits with a strong effect of photosynthesis stimulation, resulting in vigorous vegetative growth and abundant fructification. Agrobion full air fertilizer is presented as a concentrated liquid of water-soluble microelements extracted from organic and mineral substances processed by special technology, described below. Fertilizer full air fertilizer is administered at doses of 0.75 to 2.5 L per hectare depending on plant species. The amount of water in which the product is dissolved is between 150 to 300 liters of water depending on the species and the phenophase in which the plants are found. This dose is given in 2 to 3 steps. Depending on the plant phenophase, as instructed below. Agrobion fertilizer can be given by land or aerial spraying and dripping. Agrobion organic full air fertilizer contains a wide range of nutrients in a balanced biological proportion, macro and easily biodegradable and water-soluble microelements. Substances extracted from natural active ingredients that are completely needed for plants and are capable of increasing enough energy and the cellular mitochondrial potential of plants. Agrobion production technology is unique in the world and has no analog in full air fertilizer grower practice. Typically, full air fertilizer is the chemical formula of chemical substances dissolved in water or acids and chemical bases in which chemical fertilizers are dissolved. In most cases, these chemical fertilizers contain chemical elements that predominate in their chemical formula, such as zinc, Cu, bore, nitrogen, phosphorus and others. Organo-natural full air fertilizers are also produced in the formula where plant extracts such as manure or manure residues from slaughterhouses and poultry farms, rabbits, seaweed. Extracts and composts of different plants are used, vegetables, fruits, etc. Full air fertilizers combined with vegetal composts, microelements, pesticides and herbicides are also produced. Late fertilizers produced on the basis of chemical microelements obtained through nanotechnological processes such as nanocopper, nanosilver, nanoiron, nanozinc, nanosilicon and others. How does Agrobion technology differ from other full air fertilizer technologies? 3 technological secrets of Agrobion. The first secret. At the base of the Agrobion formula and the XLA preparation are the crystals X. Some biocrystals discovered and researched by Dr. Alexei Korchmary and a group of scientists, biologists, doctors and pharmacists. In 2000 Dr. Alexei Korchmary discovered under the microscope crystals X in human blood. By developing a liquid developer to study dry blood droplet behavior, DRIVE. Korchmary observed the formation of some caudal crystals under the microscope. Dr. Crystal X's detection technology has become a technology secret of the patent-protected author. The study of these crystals has shown that crystals X persist in every living body on Earth. The chemical formula of crystals X is a complex formula full of microelements very necessary for plant and animal cells to maintain energy at the mitochondrial cell level and to correct DNA breaks caused by many known and unknown harmful factors. Likewise, some Krypton X exposures have demonstrated that they neutralize free radicals and activate the dissociation of toxins from living organisms. At the same time, crystals X are a very important food for living cells. Crystals X is a dual-cell drug and food that is produced by the body to regulate its biochemical and biophysical processes, to stimulate and resurrect diseased cells, regulate the flow in the body, and correct errors in the organo-natural formulas contained in living organisms. The present author continues the research of these miraculous crystals and is ready to forward the dossier package to the Nobel Prize Committee for Discoveries in the Biophysics field of living organisms. The author of the discovery of Dr. Alexei Korchmary has developed X-ray crystallographic synthesis technology. By synthesizing electrochemical methods, these crystals have become a component of the formulations of Excel preparation and Agrobion fertilizer, which makes these formulas unique in world. Second secret, based on studies and scientific experiments, Dr. Alexei Korchmary has developed an apparatus similar to an artificial lacte, which produces very small microelements, nano-sized, and synthesizes crystals X described above. This artificial liver and its working principle is unique in the world and is the main factor plant at the Agrobion factory. That's why the Agrobion factory is the third secret. It is known that photosynthesis is the process of fixing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere by green plants with chlorophyll in the presence of solar radiation, with the removal of oxygen and the formation of very varied organic compounds, carbohydrates, lipids, proteins. It is also known that water participates in photosynthesis, like carbon dioxide. However, water is not, even when it is in small quantities, a limiting factor for all species. The intensity of photosynthesis is expressed quantitatively by the volume of gas released in a unit of time. By photosynthesis, plants convert water and carbon dioxide into large molecules such as glucose, cellulose, etc. The formation of these substances is endothermic and accompanied by the increase of order in the system, due to the passage of simple molecules into complex molecules. The quality of these transformations depends on plant health, immunity, root development, strain, foliage and reproducibility, agricultural crop productivity. These things, known by any agronomist or biologist engineer, has a little secret. Sometimes plants make mistakes in its photosynthetic processes. These errors are closely related to the so-called cellular respiration photo. Errors are triggered by several factors: sudden temperature change, aspects of genetic modification, solar irradiation, chemicals in the soil and water pollution, and others, some unknown. These errors are similar to some symptomatic illnesses in people who experience changes in time, temperature, and seasonal changes, are exposed to solar radiation faster than others. It has been calculated that to form glucose, 6CO2 plus 6H2OC6H12O6 plus 6O2, with 1 mole of CO2 and the formation of 1 mole of O2 requires delta H equals 470 kilojoules per mole minus 1. In practice, this is almost impossible to achieve. According to the values of the free enthalpy, the above reaction would be impossible, although it is known to occur in nature. The explanation results from the fact that the reaction takes place in the presence of solar radiation, namely photons. On the whole, entropy increases. Free enthalpy decreases and thus respects the principles of thermodynamics in the photosynthesis reaction. It is impossible, but plants can feed on negative entropy. This food is photon and it's called breathing. In this process of food, more and more often in our times appear in photo-breathing errors. Through studies, science has found out that plant respiratory response responds to a ferment called ribulose-1,5-bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase, or is also called rubisco. This ferment sometimes fails, and instead of absorbing more carbon dioxide, it absorbs more oxygen. Do not do this intentionally. Simply some molecular polarizations lead to excessive oxygen attraction. In this case, more phosphates, ammonia and free radicals are formed in plant cells. Usually the plants turn them into food. But it takes too long to associate them, more water is needed, and the plant consumes 7 to 10 times more energy to feed. How has this problem solved with the Agrobion fertilizer and normalized the process of breeding photo, raising the productivity of agricultural plants from 30% to 65%? It is also known from practice that some metal ions, namely noble metals, have a unique property to activate chemical positive reactions in living and parallel organisms to turn negative entropy into positive entropy. The author and his colleagues assumed that the same noble metals, if included in colloidal molecules of very small size, dissolvable in the water, then they can reach near the living cells in plants by foliar spraying. Plants will consume little energy and the cells will activate their breathing process by consuming very skillful energy to feed themselves. Agrobion fertilizer is a new scientific concept. The agrobion contains nanoparticles of copper, magnesium, iron, cobalt, boron, which are obtained by electrolysis with inverted impulses, resonance of electrical impulses and electron-explosive methods, molecule-level explosions. These very small particles are mixed with a special compost of about 16 plants and organo-natural products, which is well filtered after thermal processing. For 24 hours, after special aquatic vibrations, agrobion concentrate rests in pools. Then it is embedded. The agrobion formula differs from other formulas of foliar fertilizers because it does not predominate in any way a certain chemical microelement. The agrobion formula is a balanced but highly active formula to polarize and reduce errors in plant photosynthesis and food association processes. Content: total nitrogen N -3.2 grams L, ammoniacal nitrogen 0.54 grams L, nitric nitrogen 0.49 grams L, sodium 0.02 grams L, azort uric 1.8 grams L, other forms of nitrogen 0.37 grams L. Carbon 26.21 grams L, hydrogen 4.79 grams L, water-soluble phosphorus P2O5 0.09 grams L, magnesium Mg -0.49 grams L, manganese Minnesota -0.019 G L, and others less important. An agronomist engineer with a traditional school and training would say, what to find in this formula of agrobion? Nitrogen is less, urea the same, phosphorus, manganese very little, magnesium. If we open the www.agrobion.info village and look for some analysis bulletins, we find that agrobion contains noble metal ions, copper, iron and a very, very small amount of silver ions. These amounts of noble metals are inferiorly small, close to the rules for mineral water. However, these ions have a positive diapolic potential, especially a common metal. The noble metals ions of the agrobion formula along with the rest of the microelements are very active, and this activity ensures one of the processes such as photo-breathing, reducing the tens of times the errors that many harmful factors can cause to plants. The author wrote The Double Plant Food and Nanotechnology in Agriculture, where for the first time in the history of agricultural sciences he developed the theory of honeydew cell, in which he wrote about the importance of nanoparticles in maintaining and accumulating energy at the mitochondrial molecule level. Mitochondria, to a large extent, are responsible for plant life. Their potential, positive or negative, depends on the general condition of the plant. That's why Agrobion fertilizer has no analog in the world. For the first time, the issue of increasing plant productivity by regulating the photorespiration process and correcting the errors in the formation of rubisco, ribulose, -1,5-bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase, rubisco fermentation and the cellular energy loading of the mitochondria with extracted microelements of natural organic substances activated in superlow doses with noble metal ions. Through official tests, it has been demonstrated for 7 years that the fertilizer Agrobion fertilizer produces incremental harvests, which are very obvious, min 20% max, 65% Adis la rod. Plants became very resistant to diseases, drought, frost, and various parasites. Plants treated with Agrobion fertilizer give a nice-looking fruit with a very good taste, and after storage, the storage time of fruits and vegetables is increased. Would this description look fantastic? Nothing fantastic. Everything proved scientifically through theories and practice. Agrobion fertilizer is quite tried and anyone will be convinced. Agrobion fertilizer is a revolutionary product. In the world, foliar fertilizers combined with plant composts, microelements, pesticides and herbicides are also produced. Late fertilizers produced on the basis of chemical microelements obtained through nanotechnological processes such as nanocopper, nanosilver, nanoiron, nanozinc, nanosilicon and others. Agrobion is especially all foliar fertilizers. Here's a little history of how this fertilizer was developed with a unique formula in the world. For about 20 years, the engineer Dr. Korchmari Alexei, an electrochemical specialist, a citizen of Romania, from the Republic of Moldova, studied the behavior of electrochemically activated microelements in vegetative cellular structures of plants, animals and man. Same Dr. Ing. A. Korchmari with a group of specialists studied electrochemical, biophysical and biochemical processes in liver and kidney organs in animals and humans. Based on an invention by the Russian academician Lapuhin Yuri Mihailovich, who first invented the artificial liver and its principles of operation. Together they came to the conclusion that an artificial liver can produce microelements by means of which it can make a double feed for living cells, humans and animals, and plants. The main thing in these processes is the size and polarization of these microelements. The basis of the studies was the theories of micromolecular chemistry, superchemistry, mitochondrial biophysics and diffusion of microelements. In 1986-1989, Dr. Alexei Korchmari invented with a group of researchers from Tenos University in Chisinau a current source for feeding the galvanic baths with an inverted asymmetric current. This invention has been appreciated by academician Lapuhin Yuri and several scholars of the Moskovsky Institute of Biophysics and Biochemistry as a breakthrough and a very necessary invention for obtaining metal alloys and for the synthesis of soluble microelements in different liquids. The current source was presented as a current rectifier, transformed from the current alternative into the current oscillator, in which the wavelength, frequency and amplitude of the current that fed the anodes and cathodes in the electrochemical processes could be regulated, programmed and motorized. At the time, nanotechnologies were not used as a scientific term, so the invention was part of the micromolecular chemistry technologies. Based on this invention, Several technologies such as stainless steel coatings such as Fani alloys have been developed and implemented in some large factories in the USSR, replacing a part of the noble chromium and zinc technologies. The invention has been applied in purification technologies of water and the synthesis of risky, metallic microelements from some of the former USSR microelectronics plants. The Exila preparation has been authorized in Romania since 2001. XLR technology has been mentioned with gold, silver, bronze, and diplomas for the development of microelement synthesis technology with reversed asymmetric current. The author of Exila Dr. A. Corchimari was awarded an international exhibition with the Leonardo da Vinci International Order. These wonderful preparations are good for people with good and very good results. Tests, time and people have proven that these preparations are a good remedy for humans and plants. How to get these preparations? Open the www site. Agrobion. Info. Write to agrobion@yahoo.com or at office@agrobion.info. Call the phones in Romania +40 0747 534 661 or +40 799 582 180. In Poland, call the phone equals 48,504,162,644. You can find us in Facebook. Agrobion Fertilizer Factory or Aurelia Corchimari or Ivona Wichak.